So let's talk about oxidation of aldehydes. Previously, we've mentioned that aldehydes can be oxidized to carboxylic acids. A ketone won't be oxidized under these oxidation conditions. What are the oxidizing agents? At least you should know one of them, the chromic acid, right? So you could say different versions. It could be H2Cr2O7 dichromic acid or HCrO4 chromic acid, or potassium dichromate in sulfuric acid, which will make chromic acid instantly. Now I want to introduce two more reactions that oxidizes aldehydes to carboxylic acids. The first one is called the Benedict test. In Benedict test, the oxidizing agent is a copper-2 reagent. The copper-2 ion is the oxidizing agent and it's reduced to copper-1 oxide. And the copper-1 oxide has a very characteristic color. It's a brick red color. And the copper-1 oxide has very low solubility in solutions, so it will form a solid precipitate coming out of the solution. So in this reaction, the aldehyde will react with copper-2 ion. Aldehyde will be oxidized to carboxylic acid, and the copper-2 ion will be reduced to copper-1, and the copper-1 oxide will precipitate out, very characteristic brick red solid. The reagent used here actually is copper sulfate, sodium citrate, sodium carbonate, and water mixed together. And this reaction is actually the reaction used in the hospital to test the blood sugar level or the urine sugar level in patients, mainly the diabetic patients. So previously I've mentioned that sugar molecules have aldehyde functional group. So that aldehyde functional can be oxidized by the copper ions. Depending on how much sugar is available in the blood serum, the brick red precipitate color will be going from the light red to dark red. So there is a chart that you can compare with, just like the pH chart in the lab. You can compare to get the approximate pH range. So when you compare the sugar level chart with the actual color you received, you can get an idea of how much sugar are actually present in the patient's blood serum. All right, so we will talk more about this when we get to the carbohydrate chapter. So it's the characterization of aldehydes. The next test is called Talon test or silver mirror test. The oxidizing agent used here is the silver ion, which will be reduced to silver metal, and the silver metal will precipitate out of the solution. It forms a deposit on the inside of the reaction container. So actually it will form a layer of silver mirror. That's how the name is from, silver mirror test. This test is also a characterization method for aldehyde. So here's the reaction. Aldehyde will be oxidized to carboxylic acid, and silver ion will be reduced to silver metal. The actual reagent is the silver nitrate and ammonium water. All right, so Currently, we use Benedict test more because for Toland test, you actually have to be really careful. For example, the glassware you used must be very clean, otherwise the silver mirror won't deposit properly to form the silver mirror. So Toland test is not that easy to do in the lab, and the ammonium water has to be prepared in fresh as well.